Hey, this is Dylan with Cahlager Automotive. Sorry I haven't been making videos for quite some time. It's time to give you guys a little bit of an update. So as you can see here, I've got an interesting few cars in the shop here. 1951 Cahlager, 1992 Daihatsu Rocky, 1984 RX-7 with a 302 in it. And it's been interesting goings on. So I used to sell, PT Cruisers, Buicks, Ford Explorers, regular trucks, stuff like that. And then just recently this all started with a 1999 Isuzu Amigo. That was a one owner. I bought it from the original OG little old lady, drove to church on Sunday sort of thing. And it had super low miles. It was almost new condition, and it was rather interesting. Really enjoyed it. We actually had a big snowstorm shortly after I bought it. Got to drive it around in that. So that was fun. Sold that, did okay on that. And then I bought two 1992 Daihatsu Rockies, two of them, both 92s, both spray painted camo, which is part of the reason the blue paint on that looks so terrible. And those were fun. Did okay on that. Decided I'm going to keep one of them. I've kind of wanted one for a while. And then I bought a 1982 Ford Bronco, bullnose Bronco with a 460 big block dropped into it. Sold that. Actually, before I sold that, I bought a one owner from the original gentleman, 1985 K5 Blazer with a 454 big block. He actually blew the original 305, dropped in a 454, cracked the head on that, dropped in a brand new 454 again, and that only had like 2,000 miles on it when I got it. Had a lot of work done to it, dual exhaust. It was a really cool truck with nice patina, and did great on that. And then I bought 1951 Cahlager, followed by the RX-7, which was an interesting drive home. And funny enough, the Bronco didn't run. And that heavy-ass Bronco was pulled up in here with the Daihatsu Rocky while it's basically doing a burnout here on the shop floor, which the shop is filthy. I apologize about that, but just been busy. Anyway, so it yanked the Bronco in. But you gotta use the clutch a lot. It doesn't have a lot of power, and so when this got here, I decided to use it's basically got a truck engine and transmission, so I used the RX-7, hooked it to the tow hook on the back, and hooked a chain to this Cahlager, drove it in the shop. let's get started here. I want to show you guys around this vehicle a little bit. If I can first find my flashlight, or vehicles, because who knows when I'm going to be doing another update, and so I may as well show you everything now. Interesting little trunk way to go about it. So you lift that. The hinges are fried, or at least that hinge over there is. Spare parts in the trunk. It's got the passenger side front door panel in there. Interesting little swoopy in the rear, the back glass there. It's got the same thing at the top of the taillights. It's got the same thing in this trim piece right here. And kind of the same thing going on in the front with the split window. Interesting that this car still had a split window. It's got the original Supersonic 6 covered in rat shit. Let's see if we can picture Cahlager Supersonic. And that's what it says underneath all that crap. So it's got a more modern Carter single barrel carburetor with an electric choke on it. I don't think the choke is that an electric choke? It might not be. Well, anyway, I'm not sure if the choke's working or not. I've got the distributor cap and rotor off. It doesn't look too bad in there. Could not get a cap. I was able to get spark plugs and wires. Of course, not for this vehicle specifically, but I've got some that are going to work. So I just wanted to show you before I vacuum all this out. But basically, bong. Basically going to be vacuuming all this crap out, pulling the spark plugs, throwing some PB blaster down in the cylinders. Motor's free, but still. And then throwing new spark plugs in it. And I'm going to bypass this guy temporarily. Oh, I forgot a filter. I may have one somewhere. That sucks. But anyway, bypass this guy for the moment. See if I could just fill the float bowl. I've got an electric pump that I may have to wire up. But just see if we can get it started. Not hooked up to the gas tank or anything else. I don't know. Does this have the mechanical fuel pump still? It sure does. All right. So I wonder if that thing still works. We'll find out, I suppose, if we can get it started just off filling the float bowl and it starts spitting gas out. Then we'll know. It's really, look at the starter. Just everything super easy to access. So this should be a good time, and I expect to have it at least sputtering by the time I have to leave today. And I have to leave today because today I'm also picking up, to add to my crazy interesting fleet, I'm also picking up a 1981 AMC Eagle SX4 with a higher trim package too. So it's got the spoiler and the power windows and all that good stuff. Oh man, super excited about that. It's got the 6-cylinder, the 4.2. Manual transmission. That thing's just going to be exciting. I can't wait to get that here. I'm going to be leaving today at 2 o'clock to go look at that in Flagstaff, Arizona. Anywho, I got to get to work. Let's see. Let's show the RX-7 real quick. So RX-7's got a 302 in it. Wish it had headers. It's just got the regular exhaust manifolds. But really sick matching valve covers and air cleaner cover. This car, as you can tell by the valve cover bolts and that red distributor now being pink, this sat outside for about 6 months. Just fucking sitting outside without a hood. The hood is over there. Inside is pretty gross. The seats are not that good. The interior's tore apart. That stupid shifter setup is just terrible. Well, the shifter itself isn't too bad. It's more so that plastic housing that they threw around it. That's pretty awful. None of the gauges work, except the 3 in the middle. Those gauges over there are completely useless. So no speedometer, no tachometer. That's important. And as you can see, the mess of wires sticking out from inside that lovely center console there is largely due to, unfortunately, the guy that wired it. Super nice guy. But every frickin' wire is pink. I guess that makes looking for the right wire easy, because I'm always looking for the pink wire. And then we've got a Daihatsu Rocky, which I need to get started on, which is why I need to let you go, because I need to do this first, and then I'm going to start working on the Kaiser over there. This is getting a transmission fluid change. It is awesome. It needs some work, but oh, I adore this frickin' thing. I do need to get a few things, is get this stupid blue off. I've got the original housing for these gauges, but not the original gauges or accessories. Typically in these there is a digital clock, like one of those tilt and whatever they're called, I don't know. Those little like 4x4 gauges that have the ball that shows you your angle and etc. And then a voltmeter. So it still has a clock and a voltmeter, but this is cabin air temperature, which is useless. Crank windows, manual transmission. The seats are in actually pretty dang good shape. It's got the removable top. This top back here completely pulls out. It is just, these are so neat. This is one of the harder to get pieces, this back glass, so I'm happy that it is in good shape. But it's got that little like roll bar you can see hidden behind there, and then that goes up, comes around. It's a pretty neat little jungle buggy. That's what I've taken to calling it. Previous owner did some really bad wiring in it. I've mostly repaired all that. I've also, because the intake has got like 17 different pieces on this, I also bypassed just yesterday, just so I can get it moving again. I bypassed there was, like I said, like a ton of pieces. There's one here, a bunch here, it came over down into here, big air cleaner box right here. Literally there's very little room in this engine bay with all that intake crap on. So you can check out the really crappy paint job I did on the valve cover. Ford blue and Chevy orange. Also, this battery works great, and it's 8 years old, but dang does it still work good. There was even one time where I left one of the doors open and interior lights on all night. Still started up just fine. As you can see, there's still some remnants of previous owner wiring that needs to be done. But yeah, just the wiring doesn't make me super happy. Like there used to be a bunch of wires coming out over here, you know, as you do, dangling it up there and then coming over to the battery, and that was just a pile of garbage. The grill also has an insufferable rattle. I've already sort of taken care of most of it, but it's still got some, and the paint is really not in that good of shape anymore.